let's begin yoga for when you're sore. I'm going to use a strap. As you can see, this is actually an old karate belt, but you don't need a strap, but if you have one, grab it, or you could even use like a long t-shirt, thin towel, a tie. So let's begin. Let's go ahead and just keep your strap right by you. Let's go ahead and lay it on down in a nice, just corpse pose, nice flat back. Palms open. Let's just begin our practice by inhaling through the nose and exhaling out. Just settling into your yoga practice, but really just checking in. Are there parts of your body that feel really sore or stiff? Just send your breath to that space. Be aware of where you might need some extra love today. Allowing everything else around you to just fade away. This is your yoga practice, your time. Deep inhales through the nose and then deep exhales out through either the nose, mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale. And then exhale. Just reach for your strap. Let's just go ahead and lift up our left leg, placing our strap at the bottom of our feet. Again, you can just grab onto your leg and just feel that stretch. So I have both hands, just feeling that length through my hamstring, really pressing that left hip down. As you breathe, maybe just gently bring that leg toward your thigh, closer to your rib cage. Keeping a nice soft bend in your knee, just creating some length. And now take your left hand, holding onto that strap, releasing your right leg, and just take that left leg out to the side. Nothing too crazy. Just kind of opening up that inner thigh, using your breath, keeping both hips on the ground. And then inhale, come back to center, change hands. Right hand comes to the strap, left hand comes out. And just take that leg across the body. Getting a nice stretch from that IT band. And then come back to center. Bending that knee, slowly release. Bringing this knee into your chest, just hugging it in, maybe rolling out that ankle. And now we're taking that leg down. Let's take it to the other side. Take your right leg in, putting that strap on the bottom of your foot, extending that right leg long. Taking your time, feeling that length in your right leg. Gently bringing this right leg closer to your head, using that breath. Again, notice I have a soft bend in my knee. Feeling that stretch. Using your breath, right? And then letting go of your left hand, taking this right leg out to the side, just gently, making sure that right hip stays down. Breathing into that inner thigh. And then inhale, come to center, releasing that left hand coming out. Feeling that stretch on the outside of the right leg. Breathing through it. Showing that deep stretch through that IT band. Finding that length. And then bringing this right knee in, releasing your stretch, swinging it off to the side, hugging in this right knee. Maybe roll out that ankle. And then bring both knees into your chest. We're going to cross our ankles and just slowly roll it up. Roll it up to a nice seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. Palms open. Let's take a nice inhale here. And then fully exhale. Placing our hands on the ground. Let's come into a nice tabletop. Shoulders are right above the wrists, knees are right underneath the hips. Let's just take it to a nice cat-cow. So I'm going to inhale, drop the belly. And then exhale, round it up, chin to chest. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Opening up through the chest. And then exhale, rounding it up. One more, inhale. And then exhale. Finding that nice neutral spine. Let's go ahead and extend this left arm out. And then if that feels good, extend that right leg, finding some spinal balance, pointing those right toes down towards the earth. You can hold it here, or you can inhale, bring this knee to elbow. Exhale, extend it long. Find that extension. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, extending it long. One more. Inhale. And then exhale, reaching it out. Now inhale, dropping that left hand. Take their right toes and just kind of warm up that ankle. Feel that stretch through your, I like to call it your yogi toes, the top of that foot. And then bring this right knee back up, or I'm sorry, knee. Knee lifted. Your foot is like it's gonna press something up. Finding your balance, can you take that left arm back out? Engaging that core, can you reach back for that foot? And can you open up that quad? Finding your balance, breathing through it. Open it up, right? Opening up that quad. And then releasing it back down. Maybe pick up your right wrist, maybe shake it out, maybe take a cat-cow here, what feels good. Let's take it to the other side. Inhale, right arm comes out. As you exhale, left leg extends, left toes point down towards the ground, finding that extension. And then here we go. Inhale, knee to opposite elbow, round it up. Exhale, finding that extension. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, extend it long. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, finding that extension, holding it out right here. Finding your balance. Lengthening through the neck. And then bringing your right hand down, come back. Let's stretch out those left yogi toes. That ankle, that calf. And then inhale, lifting this knee, flexing that foot like you're going to hold something up. Can you take this right arm back out? Can you open up behind you, reaching for that foot, top of that foot? And can you find that quad stretch? Opening it up. Keeping this right hip down. Think about that left quad. And then slowly release. Shake it out. Take what you need. We're going to slowly make our way into our down dog. So curling your toes. Take your time. And then lifting those hips up and then pressing them back. What feels good here? Again, maybe your legs are sore today. Maybe paddling it out feels really good. Using your breath. And then exhaling, finding your stillness. Evenly pressing your way through both hands as you bring that heart closer to your thighs, lifting your hips up. Feeling that length. Breathe through it. Exhale here. And then inhale, slowly walk it up. Finding your first forward fold, bending your knees deeply. And then inhale, coming up to your first mountain pose, bringing those hands with you, exhaling them down by your side. Taking a moment in your mountain posture, opening your palms, spreading your toes, just taking a moment of gratitude here. And then opening your eyes, inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive back to that deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, down dog. Now let's inhale into our first plank. On or off your knees, yogi's choice. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Open up the heart. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, step it up to that forward fold. Exhale, plant your feet. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. And then exhale, deepening that forward fold. Hang out here. Let's go ahead and grab those elbows, nice soft knees, and let's just take it to a nice ragdoll, side to side. Now, if that feels good, you can stay right here, or I'm gonna come up, hanging onto those elbows. So I'm gonna inhale, come on up. Holding onto my elbows, and then exhale, coming on back down. Using that breath, so inhale, come on up. Think about opening up the side body. Exhale, come on back down. One more. Inhale, really rooting down through your feet. Exhale, coming on back down. Now take it to the other side, or other way, I should say. So for me, I'm going counterclockwise now. Up and over. Keeping those knees nice and soft. Feeling that stretch, using that breath, bringing in that movement to your body. And then come on back down. Releasing your arms. Inhale, halfway lift. Reset that spine. And then exhale, coming into your forward fold. Let's inhale, come on up to mountain. Keeping our arms with us. Lifting them up. As we exhale, we're going to reach forward like we're handing someone a beach ball. And just find that nice length, holding it here. Can you engage your inner thighs? Can you reach through? Hello, hamstrings. Feeling that stretch. You're handing somebody. Now, can you look down, relaxing your neck? And then exhale, planting your feet, finding a plank pose. Holding your plank. And then exhale, chaturanga, slow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Use that full inhale, open up the heart. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. Now this time, give me a nice bend in your knees. We're gonna hop back up to that forward fold. Exhale, plant your feet. This time, inhale, take the right leg back. We're gonna come into a nice slow lunge. Dropping this back knee, come on up. Taking a moment here. So I'm staying on my toes this time. I really wanna feel that stretch on my right hip flexor. So I'm opening it up, protecting that lower back, reaching through the arms. Let's hold here for another breath, opening it up. Now big inhale here. As you exhale, pressing those hips back. Nice half splits. We're only here one time, so we're gonna hold it 3 breaths. You can come on to the flat of your foot if that feels better. Just feeling that stretch through the back of your leg. Melting into this deep hamstring stretch. Now inhale, we're gonna come back up into that low crescent lunge, reaching up. And then as you exhale, framing this left foot, coming back to your downward facing dog. But now take this left leg off the mat and we're gonna bend our knee in. We're gonna open it up and flexing your left foot is on top of your right knee. This is gonna be a deep stretch, it's really good. So this is like a figure 4 standing or like a standing lotus. And I'm gonna come on to my right knee. And then I'm gonna press it back. So think of that left ankle, it's flexed on top of your right knee. And it's like you're sitting back, almost like you're gonna do a child's pose. This is a deep stretch for that outer hip, outer glute. Breathe into it. This is a deep stretch. Take your time. If you can bring your arms out a little more, you can. I have tight hips. Definitely need this pose today. Don't hold your breath. So my left foot is flexed on top of my right knee. I'm taking that left knee, just bringing it down towards the ground. And now slowly come on up, coming back to that downward facing dog, taking this left leg back behind you, three-legged dog. And then coming into that down dog. Inhale, float it into that plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, bending those knees, nice, hop up to that forward fold. Exhale, plant your feet. We're gonna take that to the other side. Inhale here, exhale, left leg comes back, finding that low lunge. Maybe you stay on your toes, maybe you do flat foot. What feels good? Reaching those arms up. Again, think about opening up this hip flexor. Hips are square. Relaxing your shoulders, breathing into this deep stretch. And then exhale, pressing those hips back. Nice hamstring stretch on the right side. Breathe into it. Feeling that length in the back of your leg. Really lengthen out that hamstring. Maybe take a little bit deeper. Right, deep, deep stretch. And now inhale, coming back to that crescent low lunge, bringing your arms with you, opening it up. And then as you exhale, framing this right foot, coming back to that down dog. Now take this right leg up, bending this right knee, flexing your left foot, placing it right above that knee. So taking your right knee and pressing it away. Now we're gonna come onto those yogi toes, dropping this left knee. And then we're gonna sit on back. As you can see, I'm using my breath, right? This can be a deep stretch. Think of that outer hip, right? If it's in your practice, if you feel like you can bring your hands in front of you, make it more like a child's pose, you totally can. I'm gonna stay right here. So as I'm breathing, I'm bringing my right knee down towards the mat. Getting that nice deep stretch on that outer hip. And then slowly coming on up, walking those hands out. Taking this right leg back behind you, three-legged dog. And then finding your downward facing dog. Holding it here. Now inhale, left leg comes high. As you exhale, come into now a runner's lunge. Holding it here. You know I gotta do it. Drop your right hand and come into that beautiful twist. Now option, you can drop that back knee, or you can really open up through here. Now holding it here, I'm gonna reach my hand forward and I'm gonna pivot onto the outside of my right foot, dropping my hips, bringing my left hand back, looking back behind me. This is a deep stretch, breathe through it. One more breath here. Exhale here. Now inhale, reaching that arm forward. Now framing this left leg. And then we're gonna take this left leg back behind us, opening up that hip. And then coming on through crescent high lunge. Open it up. Inhale here, exhale, finding your warrior two. finding some stillness. Reaching it down, opening it up. And now inhale, taking this left palm, high-fiving the back of the room, finding that delicious reverse warrior. I'm going to take my right hand behind and just do a nice half bind, opening it up. And then inhale, coming back to warrior two, straightening that front leg and coming into a beautiful triangle pose. So my left hand is on the inside of my left leg, opening it up, stacking those shoulders. In fact, I'm going to turn. And now inhale, coming on up, taking both of those toes forward, coming into a beautiful star pose, reaching it up. And then we're going to exhale, coming down into a nice goddess pose. Let's inhale, come up to star. Exhale into that horse goddess pose. One more, inhale, star pose, reach up. And then exhale, coming down into that horse pose. Bringing those hands down to the inner thighs. And let's drop our right shoulder. And then inhale, come back to center, dropping your left shoulder. Feels really good. And then inhale, coming back up to that star pose. That left leg is forward. We're gonna come back into that warrior two. Inhale here, this time exhale into that extended side angle. Right, opening up the side body. And now inhale, framing that left leg. Taking this left leg back behind you, opening up into that scorpion tail. And then finding your downward facing dog. Switch sides. Let's inhale into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, take this right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, come into that runner's lunge, right side. Dropping the hips, feeling that stretch. Now dropping this left hand, peeling open your right hand, finding that delicious twist. Bringing this ribcage closer to your thighs, dropping your hips, lengthening. Now inhale, can you pivot on this outside of your left foot, bringing your right hand behind, looking behind you. Breathe through it. Inhale here, exhale here. And then inhale, coming back to that runner's lunge. Taking this right leg back behind you, opening up that hip. And then coming back through, finding your crescent high lunge. Come on up. Inhale here, exhale, warrior two. Holding it, finding your stillness, opening up through those inner thighs. And then taking this right palm, palm comes up. As you exhaling into that beautiful reverse warrior, I'm going to take my left hand behind a nice little bind. And then inhaling back into that warrior two, straightening that front leg, coming down into that triangle pose. Feeling that stretch, opening up the chest. And then we're going to come up into that star pose. And then exhale into that goddess. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. Exhale, holding your goddess pose. This time taking your right hand into your right thigh, reaching up and over. And then taking it to the other side, opening it up. And then inhale, star pose. Exhaling into that warrior two. Right side. And then taking that right arm into that extended side ankle. Opening it up. And then inhale, framing this right leg, taking this right leg back behind you, opening up that hip. And then finding your downward facing dog. Inhale into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing. Inhale, take this left leg high. As you exhale, coming into your pyramid pose. So come on up. Taking those hands right at your hips and just hinging from the hips right here. Now maybe you walk your pyramid in a little bit. Bringing this rib cage close to your thighs. Breathing into this deep stretch so both legs are straight. And bringing this rib cage just a little bit closer. Again, you can be right here. And now slowly on the inhale, finding the ground, coming into a nice half splits, bringing that rib cage closer to your thighs. As you come back to that runner's lunge, taking this left leg back behind you, opening up that hip, and then coming through into your pigeon pose. Dropping that knee, dropping your back foot. Let's look over that left shoulder as you extend. I'm sorry, this is my right side, that right leg long. And then coming into your pigeon pose. Now again, you might be super sore like I am today. So I want you to find that spot in your pigeon pose. Maybe bring your head all the way down to the mat today. Nice sleeping pigeon. Right, breathing into those spaces that are tight, that there's a little bit of tension, right? You're right at your, what we call the edge, where you use your breath to deepen that stretch. Maybe you stay right here, or you come up onto your hands, opening up your chest, bending this back knee. Now taking your right hand, opening up your chest, you're gonna reach for the top of that foot, just like we did in the warm-up. Placing that top of your foot into your hand as you come into a beautiful stretch. If you wanna work a little bit of balance, maybe you lift your left arm up. Wherever you are, give me one more full, big, beautiful deep breath. Fully exhale. And then slowly come on out of this. Bringing your hands up, curling your right toes, taking this left leg, shaking it out behind you. I always like to open it up. And then coming into your downward facing dog. Let's inhale, right leg comes high, three-legged dog. Exhale, coming through into that pyramid pose, so straightening both legs. I like to come up, kind of readjust, squaring off the hips, and then bringing that rib cage closer to the thighs. Bringing the hands down to the mat. Exhaling into this beautiful posture. And just feeling that length, right? The right leg is straight, that right hip is back. This is a deep stretch. Right, a lot of times this right knee wants to bend, so maybe you bring this back leg in. Really feel this stretch. Finding that length, using your breath. And then planting your hands on the ground, we're going to come into those standing splits. So all your weight's on your right leg as your left leg comes up and just hinging forward. And then coming back into that runner's lunge, taking that right leg back behind you, opening up that hip, and then coming into your pigeon. Right knee comes behind your right wrist. I'm going to scooch up. And then wiggling that left leg back behind you. Always looking over that shoulder to make sure your hip is in alignment, right? Sometimes that leg wants to go out to the side. And then here we go, pigeon on the right side. Breathe into it, right? If a place of tension comes up, send your breath there. Relaxing your face. Full deep breath from the bottom of your belly as you melt into your yoga mat. And then if you want, you can stay right here, where I'm going to come up onto my hands, bending my back knee, planting my right hand as I open up. Open it up. Feeling that stretch through the quad. As you keep those hips forward, if you want a little more balance, want to bring up that right hand. Slowly coming out of this stretch. Curling your left toes as you take this right leg back behind you, opening it up. And then coming into that downward facing dog. Let's inhale into our plank. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way down, holding it here. And just come up into a beautiful locust. I'm going to just bring my hands behind me, opening up the chest. Exhale here. And then slowly bringing those hands next to your shoulders, coming up and back, finding a nice wide child's pose. Sinking into your child's pose, dropping your head, reaching those arms forward. Catching your breath, cooling it down. And then slowly come on up. Coming onto your hips, swinging those legs in front of you. Rolling in on back down. And then bringing those knees into your chest. Taking it side to side. Let's take those arms out to a T. And then just allow both knees to drop to one side. It doesn't matter, we're doing both. And then looking over that opposite shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, allow those knees to just drop to the other side. Really open up right here. Reaching this left arm out, or whatever, opposite arm. And then coming back to center. Hugging in those knees. And then let's curl it up to a ball. Nice big squeeze. Squeeze it, squeeze. Send your body so much love today, right? Got into those tough spaces where you were tight and there was tension. And you opened it up. You really stretched and lengthened. So be proud that you rolled out your mat today. And then exhale, release. Allowing your palms to stay open. Ankles open. Just sealing in your practice today. I encourage you to stay in this Shavasana, this relaxation pose, for as long as you need. Taking your time, closing your eyes. Fully relaxing your body. Thank you, friends, for taking this time with me. Namaste.